Shelby Oldham, and I'm here with Jim Polly, a well-known personality in Corona. Jim, you've been in Corona for quite a while, since you were 10, I understand?
Well, yeah, when I came to Corona just before I was 10, and I was in the 4th grade at the old Lincoln School, and there was 2 buildings there. The one building that still stands there for they use for recreation, and then there was the old building across the way there where they had a music room and a cafeteria. And then I went to Corona Junior High School. At that time, it was the old high school, and they were supposed to build a new junior high school there, but the war came along, and so they couldn't build it. And then I went to Corona High School, and it was the only high school in town in those days, of course.
I understand you missed your graduation ceremony because you were already in Guam. What was that like at such an early age?
Well, I joined the Navy when I was 17 years old, and I was actually on my way to Guam, and we were on what they call an APA, and we were only getting 2 meals a day, and the meals we were getting were not much. I ate more for breakfast this morning, and I got in those 2 meals.
What other kinds of jobs did you have while you were young?
I used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get to the bakery on the east side of Main Street between 6th and 7th, the Greek bakery there, and I'd pick up the bakery goods, and then I'd deliver those bakery goods to all of the different cafeterias in the school. There was Lincoln, Jefferson, Washington, Corona Junior High School, Norco Elementary, and Corona High School. That was all the schools in the district in those times. I'd deliver those bakery goods, and then after that, then I'd go to Alpha Beta, which was on West 6th Street at the time, and I'd pick up the produce and meat and anything else they needed, and then I'd deliver that to the school.
Your career in Corona revolved pretty much around Emerson Polly Menswear. How did that all transpire?
Well, I was always looking for work, so I walked into the store there, and I asked if you needed any help, and he said, yeah. He says, come down on Saturday and go to work. So I went down there. We opened at 8 o'clock in the morning and closed at 9 o'clock at night or later, depending on who. They stayed open until nobody came in. And in those days, on Saturdays, they did about half of their week's business on Saturday. The farmers would come into town, and they'd gather on the corner. They had the popcorn machine out there. Then they'd go to the movie, which was down the street on East 6th Street. And then they'd come back, and after they go to the movie, they'd shop again a little bit. And it was sort of like a community gathering on 6th and Main Street there. But it was an interesting experience because the store had been there so long. It was sort of a gathering for all the politicians in town and all the old timers, and they'd come in. And I got a history lesson just about every day I went to work.
Do you have any good stories about selling menswear?
I guess one of the interesting things was there was a lot of braceros, nationals from Mexico, came in working in the orange groves. And it was a strange thing. When they came in, they knew quality. They wanted zapatos de marca de Florsheim, and sombreros marca de Stetsons, and camisas marca de Elro. And they wanted quality. But one of the things that was sort of strange, they all thought they had small feet, and and for the shoes they'd say, "Número 6, señor," and we started our run of our shoes at about 7.5 in those days, and I'd say, "No tengo número 6, señor," and so they'd walk out and they wouldn't buy. Well, then I got caught on to what was going on, and I'd look at their feet, and I'd look at the guy and I'd think, well, he needs an 8, and I'd give him an 8, and he says, "Número 6, señor?" I said, "Sí, número 6. Oh, bueno.
In '49, Ginger Rogers and Ronald Reagan and Doris Day were here doing a film where Corona represented a small southern town. Did you get to see any of the filming or anything going on with that?
I remember I went downtown and they had fire hoses out there and washed all the streets down, and the streets were just shiny and bright, you know, and then they had these big searchlights on, and you could see people running across the street. I didn't know who they were at the time, but it was a pretty big deal for Corona in those days. You know, Corona, 1949, I don't know how big Corona was, probably 10,000 people at the most, probably.
Jim, it was so nice to meet you and get to talk to you today. I'm Shelby Oldham, and I'll see you again soon on Isle of Corona. Thanks for watching. This programming has been made possible by the Corona Heritage Foundation for the history, art, and culture of Corona, California. Be sure to subscribe to Isle of Corona on YouTube and watch out for our next segment. I'm Shelby Oldham, and I love Corona.